Oh, it's on. Hooray. So, my loves, you know exactly what I'm going to say. Good Shabbos, Shabbat Shalom. As you come in, please come closer. Yes, of course. Dennis. Dennis, do you want to say it? Please come closer. Don't be nervous about you. I mean, you can feel nervous if you want to about sitting closer. You don't have to feel nervous if that's an option. Please feel free to move chairs around. If you want to come closer, we can move a chair so you can come in if you want to be. I love that. But please also, so we've set up this space. We've set up this space to be ready for slichot. Wow, it's a hot mic, which is starts tomorrow, has been all month, but we're going to sing slichot tomorrow night. And so this is a full circle, which I know you're like, but I want to see your faces, which is really nice, but we get to see each other's faces. And it's about the song, actually. It's about what we sound like and creating the sense of being in our community's prayer. And so I know if you're like, but I wanted to see the rabbi's face. Why? I mean, of course, for accessibility, please see our faces, but also, why? So come if you want to come closer. We get to be in practice of being in the round. I love you're all like, yeah, really nice. No way. But what I will ask is if anyone feels like sitting next to Rabbi Joey and next to me, that would be really nice because we can develop really sad feelings about always having a chair next to us. It's like Kisei Eliyahu. It's like Elijah's chair. No one will ever sit there. Exactly. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, and thank you so much. So there's one more Kisei Eliyahu. There's one more chair of Elijah that is ready for people. Oh, good Shabbos, everyone. And the good news here, I'm just gonna do one more pitch for the chairs that are behind us. That for our friends on Zoom, these are actually the best chairs because it means you get to see our Zoom friends will get to see your faces. So if I know it's a spin. If you sit here, you can be waving to our friends on Zoom the whole time. And also you can read Rabbi Joey's Dvar Torah over his shoulder before he's ready. So many benefits. Again, wow, this is why I became a rabbi and not a salesperson. No one is interested. Thank you. Thank you. Good Shabbos, everyone. Let's take a breath. Between banter and prayer, we will create a space. Ya la 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 ya la ya la yo ay ya la la ya la ya yo ay ya la 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 ay la ya la yo Shabbat Shalom. It's so sweet to see you. It's so sweet to be together. I'm just going to invite us to take a moment and look around, see if you can meet someone's eyes maybe you don't know, and smile or acknowledge them. Yes, I see you in space. Yes, I'm so glad you're here. Good Shabbos. The miracle of getting to come together. This is the last Shabbat of 5784. And preparing for the high holidays has given me the chance to try to remember who I was a year ago. What I thought mattered. What I was worried about. What it felt like to lead with Rabbi Joey, what we knew about each other then, and all that we know now. I think last year at this time, I had this feeling of one of the questions I was asking, because I was about 3 months old as a lead rabbi, and I was like, do I know how to lead rabbi? That was like an actual question I was asking a lot to basically anyone who would listen to me. I don't think it was very fun. And the question I'm asking now is like, do I know how to be a human? Do I know how to show up as a human? Do I know how to show up in a way that asks other people, the people I'm with, to be human? And that feeling of just like, can I just get rid of the thing, whatever I thought it meant to be a lead rabbi, or whatever I thought it meant to be a Jew, or whatever I thought it meant to be. A lot of that has shattered. And it's really scary. It's extremely painful. My prayer for us as we come into this year and as we come into the work of these next extremely important and sacred and impossible days, Yamim Noraim, the awesome days, the awful days, same words, two translations, but that we come into these days just shedding anything that doesn't serve us, anything that keeps us apart, anything that keeps us stuck. We can't waste our time. Okay, so Shabbat is a space that holds us and lets us rest. It wants us to rest. It wants us to get nourished. Because part of our work, the Zohar teaches us, is to remind the world on Shabbat what it felt like to be created. The world every week forgets. And then when we say Kiddush, we remind it. This is what it felt like when the world began. So this is what we return to tonight. We've had a real week. Can we come back to the place of telling the story of creation, not to turn away from the world? But to pray new possibilities into being. So I think we should light candles. What do you say? I would love to invite Michelle Rennie, who I know you look surprised. Please come up. We're so excited to welcome you into space as we kindle our Shabbat lights. Good Shabbos, everyone.
Just so everyone is as comfortable as possible, we always try to ask the person to light candles who is going to be most surprised at any given moment. So it could be you next week.
Okay, put this thing.
You just put it in the fire and then do that, and you'll pull back when you're done.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu להדליק נר של שבת.
Michelle, do you mind staying up here for a second while I give you a bracha? Let's shift over a little. I am so sorry that you missed the opportunity to be blessed alongside two other 70-year-olds. But I savor the opportunity to bless you tonight. And to do that, I'd like to bless you with a Hebrew word whose numeric value adds up to 70. Ein. I want to bless you with this word that means eye, as in eyeball. You are a human with vision. Vision for a more just world, vision for how to stand up to power and to build connections and love. Michelle, I want to bless you with a year and a decade of vision. May you see the world you seek to build. May you be seen by your comrades and community in full power. May you help us all see a holier and more just society. Mazal tov. Siman tov, mazal tov, mazal tov. Siman tov, mazel tov, siman tov, yehelanu, 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 ulecho Yisrael. Siman yehelanu, yehelanu, ulecho Yisrael.
Mazal tov. If we can just invite Shelley and Dennis to rise as Michelle's coming back, because I know Michelle's desire was to be together, not to be by Michelle's self on the bima. So our amazing 70-year-olds who just turned, we are so glad to get to celebrate you. Mazal tov. Let's turn together to page 12 and sing our way into Shabbos. Lechu neranena l'Adonai nariya letzor yishenu nekadem avanav betoda bizmirot nariya lo lechu neranena l'Adonai nariya letzor yishenu nekadem avanav betoda bizmirot nariya lo yala ya ya yala la yala la ya yo yala la ya yala
page 13. Shiru l'Adonai, shir chadash, shiru l'Adonai, kol haaretz.
Shiru l'Adonai, barechu shemo, baseru miyom liyom, Yeshuato.
Yabadadada sapru v'goyim, kevodol bechol ha'amim niflootav.
Ki gadol Adonai, umulal meod, norahu al kol Elohim.
Yadadadada ki kol Elohei hamim evelim v'Adonai shamayim asa.
Od v'hadar lefanav, oz v'tiferet b'mikdasho.
Yadadadada yismechu hashamayim v'tagel haaretz yiram hayam umelod.
Yalos Adai
v'chol asher bo az yiranenu kol aseyar lifnei Adonai kiva lishpot haaretz yishpot tevel betzedek be'amim be'emunato yadadadada 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 ayallah yadadadada yalla yadadada yadadadada yadadadada hayalla yadadadada hayalla yadadadada hayayadadada. Final paragraph on page 17.
Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehakosho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehakosho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehakosho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehakosho.
We'll join together, calling out for the strength we need, number 1 on your colorful or not so colorful supplement sheet. Anna bechoach gedulat yemincha, tatir tzerura, tatir tzerura, kabel rinat amcha, sagveinu, tahareinu nora. koach gedulat yemincha tatir tzerura tatir tzerura kabel rinat amcha sagvenu tahareinu nora hay 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 oh oh hay da da hay yo oh oh hay 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 oh hay da da hay yo
We'll turn together to page 20 for the Chadodi. As we come to the last verse, we will rise in body, root in spirit, and if you feel like opening the doors and windows of wherever you are or coming out onto 50th Street, you're so very welcome. Lechadodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela penei Shabbat nekabela shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad hishmiyanu el hayuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad l'shem ultiferet ve'litila lechadodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela penei Shabbat nekabela likrat Shabbat lechu v'necha ki mekor haberacha merosh mikedem nesucha sof maaseh b'machshavat tchila lechadodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela penei Shabbat nekabela mikdash melech ir melucha kum imtzei mitoch ha'afecha rav lach shevet be'er mechabacha ve'hu yachamon alayich chemla lechadodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela penei Shabbat nekabela hidnari me'afar kuli livshi bigei tifar
Techami, Al Yad Ben Yishai, Bet Halachmi, Kol Va'el Nafshi Ge'alai, Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat, Nekabela, Penei Shabbat, Nekabela, Hitoreri, Ki va'orech kumi Uri, Shir daveri, Kevod Adonai, Alayich nigla, Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat, Nekabela, Penei Shabbat, Nekabela. Ay, 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 lecha dodi, ay, 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 likrat kala. Ay, 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 penei Shabbat, nekabela. Ay, 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 lecha dodi, oh, ay, 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 likrat kala. Ay, 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 penei Shabbat, nekabela. Lo tevoshi velo tikami, matishtachavi umatehemi, bahar yechesu ani ami, venifneta iratila. Ay, 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 lecha dodi, ay, 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 likrat kala. Ay, 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 penei Shabbat, nekabela. Ay, 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 lecha dodi, ay, 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 likrat kala. Ay, 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 penei Shabbat, nekabela. Vehayu li sisa shotzai, verachaku kol mevalayich, yahasis alayich Elohayich, kimsos chatan, chatan. Ay, 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 lecha dodi, ay, 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 likrat kala. Ay, 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 penei Shabbat, nekabela. Ay, 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 lecha dodi, ay, 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 likrat kala. Ay, 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 penei Shabbat, nekabela. Yaminu smolti frotzi vet Adonai tariti, ayadish ben parzi, venismecha venagila. Ay, 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 lecha dodi, ay, 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 likrat kala. Ay, 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 penei Shabbat, nekabela. Ay, 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 lecha dodi, ay, 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 likrat kala. Ay, 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 penei Shabbat, nekabela. Boi v'shalom ateret ba'ala, gam besimcha uvesohala, toch emune am segula, boi chala Bohi chala, ay 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 lecha dodi, ay ay likat kala, ay pene Shabbat. Pene Shabbat nekavela, ay lecha dodi, ay likat kala, ay pene Shabbat nekavela, ay lecha dodi, ay likrat kala, ay pene Shabbat nekavela. Shabbat shalom, everyone. I ended us like a round early. Welcome back, folks.
Ya la la, ya la la, ya la lo, ya la la, ya la, ya la lo. Ya la la, ya la la la, ya la la, ya la la la, ya la la, ya la la la, ya la la, ya la la. Mis Moshir, Mis Moshir, Mis Moshir, page 22. Mis Moshir, Mis Moshir, Mis Moshir, Shir Leyom HaShabbat, Shir Leyom HaShabbat, Shir Leyom HaShabbat, Shir Leyom HaShabbat.
In a second, we're going to rise in body and spirit on page 28. But before we get there, I meant to ask earlier in the service, just curious who is in this room. Is there anyone here who's here for the very first time?
Yay,
Yay,
welcome.
welcome. Is there anyone here who's here for the very first time in a very long time? Welcome back.
It's huge. Yay. No sheepish. Just proud.
No shame.
Back, that's right.
It's sweet to know a little bit about who our minion is as we move into this moment in a service where we get to count each other and where we get to raise our voices together. We'll rise in body or root on page 28. Ya da dum ba ya ya yo ya yo. Ya da da ya 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 yo. Ya da 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 ya. Baruch et Adonai HaMevorach. We'll turn to page 30. In this prayer, we have an opportunity to bless a God that brings light and who also brings darkness into the world. I'd like to invite folks to notice outside of our windows for the first time this year, really feeling a little bit like nighttime. Noticing the colors that are still coming through the faint light, the shadow that's being cast. Taking a big breath in and out.
ומעביר יום ומביא לילה ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה אדוני צבאות שמו אל חי וקיים תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד ברוך אתה אדוני המרי והרבים.
On page 32, we give thanks for a God that brings love into the world. I invite you to call to mind the person or animal or landscape that fills your heart with so much love and joy in this moment. Again, taking a big breath in and out.
כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ובהם נגה יומם ולילה ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל.
You turn to the Shema on page 34. Feel free to rise if it's your tradition.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
You can be seated, page 36.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושינתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם אלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
We turn together to page 40.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות, אוסף אלה, נורא תהילות, אוסף אלה, מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקע ים לפני משה ומרים. זה אלינו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. היי 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 היי, ביד היי היי, היי 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 היי, ביד היי היי היי, היי 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 היי, היי 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 היי. פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. We'll turn together to page 42. We'll sing these first lines of Hashkivenu. This is a prayer we say every night. This is a nighttime prayer. And I think it's much of our liturgy shifts on Shabbat. It shifts from a chance of supplicate, like we don't ask for things on Shabbos. So our tefillah, our personal prayer, our Amidah changes completely. Gone are the 18 blessings of saying, oh please, like forgive me, heal, do, make change, right? That's gone. And instead we have, and you can look at it tonight, we have a liturgy in our Amidah that is all about things. And I think we learn something from the fact that we don't change. Hashkivenu stays. This prayer for peace and for protection stays. Every day, every night. And remember, days begin at night. So as we begin Shabbat, we begin with prayers for peace. And I think for me this week, I'm asking this question as I'm davening tonight. What do I do with all of my fear? What do I do with all of my heartbreak? Where do I put it? How do I fit it in my prayer? And I feel like Hashkivenu comes to say, like, you can be scared. You can be angry. Be furious, because we're going to remind ourselves, please let me lie down in peace. Let us lie down in peace. Let us rise for life. For life. Let us refuse this cult of death. Let us rise for life. There is space in our tradition for our fear. There is space in our tradition for our fury. And we remind ourselves there is space at the beginning of every day for prayers for peace, for wholeness, fullness, everywhere. We get to practice every day. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom vehamidenu shomreinu lechaim ufros aleinu sukkah shelomecha Tova milfanecha, Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom, והעמידנו שומרנו לחיים ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך ותגננו פצע טובה מלפניך השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום והעמידנו שומרנו לחיים ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך ותגננו פצע טובה מלפניך ברוך אתה אדוני הפורס סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ועל ירושלים.
We rise or root on page 44. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם לדורות. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם בריתולם. אותי לעולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם בריתולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם בריתולם. Shabbat vayinafas, Shabbat vayinafas, Shabbat vayinafas. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם בריתולם. We stay rooted or on our feet on page 46. Moving into silent prayer, we'll start with song.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל. Let's take this time now to pray for healing of body and spirit. So we'll sing, and then we'll offer names, and we'll sing again. We can turn together to page 253. Mi sheberach avotenu mekor haberacha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Tonight we're praying for Mi sheberach imotenu mekor haberacha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Sorry, Marty, I feel a little... Marty just offered to stand next to me and I think be my enforcer as I speak. I'll accept it. Y'all, I'd like to start with a song today. You should have this little half sheet. We'll start with Nigun. Yada yada da ya yo, Yada yada yo. Yada da 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 ya ya yo. Yada yada yo. Yada da 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 ya ya yo. Yada yada yo. Yada da da ya 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 yo. Yada yada yo. Yada da ya ya yo. Yada yada yo. Yada da da yada ya yo. Yada yada yo. I was gonna write a song for you, gonna sing it loud, gonna sing it at such decibels that all you'll hear is sound, and all you'll feel is sound, and all you'll be is sound. I was gonna write a song for you, gonna sing it loud, gonna sing it at such decibels that all you'll hear is sound, all you'll feel is sound, and all you'll be is sound. Near the end of our parsha, a song appears. God tells Moshe, "Now write this song and teach it to Israel." And several verses later, Moses does just that. I quote, "Moses wrote down this song, and on that day, Moshe taught the song to all the Israelites." Strangely, neither in these verses or anywhere in the surrounding texts does a clear picture emerge of what the heck this song is, what the lyrics or melody is that Moshe composed that day. Traditional commentators have puzzled over the nature of Moshe's song. Their exploration of this musical mystery, I think, gives us a little glimpse into what it means to create in the midst of profound suffering. Before chewing on this big question, we'll need to zoom in on the context of God's request for Moses' song. This command and action sit in the 5th and 6th aliyah in our parsha. It's an eventful passage. God reminds Moses of his imminent death and tells the prophet that the people will go astray after he dies. In the wake of this devastating news, we arrive back at our writing assignment. God commands Moshe to write and teach a song that God can use to reprimand the wayward future generations. Can we get like a collective oi for Moshe? 1, 2, 3, oi. Our Torah finds Moshe in a remarkably painful moment, reminded of his own mortality and his people's ongoing shortcomings. Faced with these challenges to his legacy and his people's future, we return to the question, what song did Moshe compose? It's maybe not so surprising that our traditional commentators have faith in Moshe's ability to respond to the situation with grace. Faced with the mysteries of the words, quote, this song, Rashi, the medieval commentator, suggests that the song Moses composed and taught forms the next whole parsha, Ha'azinu. Rashi's grandson, the Rashbam, makes a more expansive argument, suggesting that this song refers to the whole book of Deuteronomy. Here's where it really gets wild. One line of reasoning in the Talmud in Nedarim makes an even more audacious claim, arguing that in our one little verse, Moses writes and teaches the entirety of the Torah. I'd like to pause and imagine this most expansive reading. According to Nedarim, the entirety of our Torah was written down in this moment by an old man, tired, facing his imminent death, and the well-being and the imminent fall of the well-being of his community. In that moment, Moshe wrote down everything that he could remember, the stories of his ancestors, his own life, his people's unfolding relationship with the divine. He wrote all of this hoping that something in the song would keep his community together and in relationship with his beloved God. And yet he knew what God had told him, that he would soon die and that his people would go astray. The traditional commentators that we've seen take the unexplained mystery of the phrase, the song, and they fill it up with a heroic Moshe, composing a parsha or a book or an entire textual tradition at one of the lowest moments of his life. I want to suggest an alternative path. Perhaps the vagueness of the word, this song, is not representative of an expansive corpus of prose and poetry. Maybe it's not representative of anything. Perhaps Moses faced the enormity and impossibility of his task and succumbed to writer's block. The only words he was capable of writing down were the 2 words of God's most recent commandment, Hashira Hazot, this song. And then he said these words, this song, to his people, not as prophecy, but as a call for help. In his comment on these verses, Ibn Ezra notes that God's initial command to Moses to write a song is written in the plural, as in, you all must write a song. Ibn Ezra deduces from this plural that the task is not given to Moses alone. Rather, it's given in the commentator's voice, mivin lichtov, to anyone who understands how to write. As Moses penned and then sang out the empty words, the song, he might have been calling out to all the writers of his community, all the artists and the feelers and the lovers of the Jewish people. He might have been calling out not only to the Israelites in the desert with him, but up through the generations to us today. He might have been inviting all of us to write a song for Moshe, for God, and for our own hearts, that we could provide love and strength to all the suffering we have and will continue to face. In all of this, I feel for Moshe, for the pressure of finding the right words in impossible moments. One of the greatest privileges of my life is the opportunity to write and speak in front of this community regularly. And gosh, has it been a challenging year. In the wake of October 7th, the ongoing devastation in Gaza, the rapidly spreading violence throughout the Levant, and the upcoming US election, I have sought to speak words of justice, peace, heartbreak, and connection. I hope these words have been helpful, and I know at times that at least I know these words have not felt like enough for me, and maybe they haven't for you. I also know that I am not alone in this heavy work. It seems like a lot of us are struggling to answer the questions and pains of friends, students, and children. I suspect that our Torah this week might give some solace to anyone who has found the right words to be just out of reach. The image of Moshe asking his community for help suggests that there is not one perfect formula or magic phrase that will solve the pains of this world. Rather, our redemption comes in the dissonance and harmonies of leaders and communities stretching to find our voices together. And so I'd like to conclude how we started. Yada, yada, da, ya, yo. Ha, ya, yo. Yada, da, da, ya, yo. Ha, ya, yo. Yada, da, ya, yo. Ha, ya, yo. Kitov Moshe et hashira hazo bayom hahu bayom hahu Vikatov Moshe et hashira hazo Bayom hahu, bayom hahu. I was gonna write a song for you, Gonna sing it loud. Gonna sing it at such decibels that all you'll hear is sound, and all you'll feel is sound, and all you'll be is sound. Shabbat Shalom. We'll have an opportunity to bless each other very much in the model of the Torah of this week. Zoom friends, please invite you to start drafting your brachot. And people who are physically here, you can find the words of our blessing on the back of your colorful sheets. Hamalach hagoel oti. Hamalach hagoel oti mikora. Yevarech et hane'arim ve'yiravehem shemi. V'shem avotai, v'shem avotai, Avraham ve'yitzchak, ve'yigdu la'rov, ve'yigdu la'rov, v'zedem la'aretz. Yismechem Elohim kezara kerivka kerachel uchelea ke'Ephraim v'chi-Menashe. Yivarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha ve'yichunecha. Yisa Adonai panav elecha ve'asem lecha shalom. Yedidai May we ask for help when we need it, and together may we write beautiful songs for the next year here. May we all be gentle with ourselves during writer's block. May we carry the responsibilities from the month of atonement forward to the rest of the year. May we find our song in every movement of our bodies, so all our actions aid our journeys. May we feel the sound of community in our bodies. May sound comfort us. May we each contribute a song to share with the world in these times. May we all find the words we need to answer the questions in front of us with a song that resonates to those around us. May we write many songs. May we write songs together, songs of catharsis and songs of strengthening. May we remember that sound is a physical act. May we be mindful of what we say and how, as we reach out and touch each other with words and tone. May we sometimes stop giving and just gratefully receive. May we hear the song of liberation and answer its call. Can you hear our song?
Let's rise in body, root in spirit on page 284. seated.
We're moving in the direction of Mourner's Kaddish. Our community has had the tradition over the last 11 months of saying the words of Oseh Shalom with the awareness that we need all the prayers for peace that we can get. These words have been particularly allowing us to mark the scale of death on October 7th and the devastation ever since, including this week, the devastation of continued escalation of violence in Lebanon and the bombings that have been falling on the north of Israel. It is a lot, too many names for us to read together. And with awareness that prayer is not enough, we still have been taking on the practice of offering prayer. I invite folks to sing the words of Oseh Shalom together. Oseh Shalom b'ramav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. I'll be reading a list of names of folks who have died in this community in the last 30 days and at this time in previous years. I invite you, if you hear the name of someone that you knew and loved and would like to share a story, feel free to raise your hand and Rabbi Ariel will find you with a microphone. Good. We're in the Shloshim for Rabbi Dasa, uncle of Sarah Kanaz. Todd Slomsky, brother of Karen Maratz, brother-in-law of Mike and uncle of Henry and Mimi. Bernard Bernie Johnson, grandfather of Rachel and Rebecca Wolf. Paul Pink, father of Joelle Pink. And Robin Wicks, wife of Jessica. We're in the yard site, the anniversary of the death of Ilsa Anschel, Ray's mother. Louise Bean, Belle's grandmother. Aaron Bergman, Libby Bergman's father, Zev Binder, Larry Binder's brother and Emily's uncle. Sheldon Bloom, Christy Bloom's father, Martha Clemens, Christina Rothstein's grandmother, William Cohn, Philip Cohn's father and Amira Hakel's grandfather, David Colburn, Ben's grandfather, Doris Korchak, Freda Marver's mother, Jim Dinerstein, Rachel Dinerstein-Gabel's father and beloved member of Shir Tikva, Elise Ehrlich, Robin Ehrlich's mother, Herman Friedman, Eric Rem's father-in-law, Natalie Halpern Eichmann, Daniel Halpern's mother, Sam Kaufman, Ruth Markowitz's grandfather, Ida Kalis, Helen Rubenstein's grandmother, Gabrielle Lilienthal, Ari and Evan Terasak's cousin, Jason Tarasak and Jessica Savarin's nephew, and the member of Shir Tikva. Mary Long, Graham Early's grandmother, Gertrude Nitzberg, Eileen Collard's mother, Marilyn Offner, Rabbi Stacy Offner's mother, Howard Perlman, Phyllis Ettinger's father, Miriam Rosen, Shira Burton's grandmother, Herb Rosenberg, Mark's father, and Rabbi Ariel Lekach Rosenberg's grandfather.
I am grateful to my parents filling out their shul cloud. This is the first year that I've had the experience of names being said in community of my family, and I'm really feeling grateful for my parents' membership of Shir Tikva. Thank you, parents. My Big Z. I've never shared a story about Big Z in this community. My Big Z was my grandfather. He's my dad's dad, and I was his first grandkid. He lived in Squirrel Hill in Pittsburgh,
and also then moved to Sanibel Island in Florida, which just got ravaged by Hurricane Helene last night, or in the last days. My Big Z was like extremely harsh and clear, and used his words like very like tools, like a bar he would set. He's like, if you meet me here, I'll play with you. And I was always like, all right. And I loved him so much, and was really lucky that he moved to Portland in the last years of his life. And I really got to know him and get to be his friend. And I miss him. And when I was going to rabbinical school, it was Big Z that I consulted in my mind, because he had already died, and asked him if I should go to rabbinical school. And he is the spirit who gave me a headache instead of giving me an answer about whether I should go to rabbinical school. May his memory be a blessing.
Dorothy Sayer, Nina Sayer's mother. Samuel Sheffer, Aaron Brooks' grandfather. Ryan Sullivan, Kendrick Cronin's beloved friend. Elmer Svedson, Sven Songard's grandfather. Mari Titleman, Ann English Titleman's aunt. Kenneth Tilson, Josie Tilson's father. Bruna Zink, Mary Zink's mother. Are there any other names that folks would like to bring into our space?
It's the first yard site of my grandmother, Malvina Pranis. She was sometimes a very difficult and demanding woman that we sometimes, found it hard to be around. But I think as an adult, and I got to be out with her shortly before she passed. She lived in Vermont in the last part of her life. That I realized that she spoke up for herself, right, and her needs, and that I think I appreciate that part of her that I hadn't seen when I was younger.
I was not here last Friday, but my father's yard site, I think was last week, and I was not able to be here. So just remembering Raleigh Westland, he loved fishing more than anything, I think. And one of my fondest stories was being 5 years old and fishing out off the shore at Lake Minnetonka. And I caught this walleye as long as my arm 3 days before season opened, and I could not for the life of me understand why we had to throw it back.
Sorry, this one's going to be kind of a downer. So the state of Missouri lynched an innocent man this week. His name was Imam Khalifa Williams, or Marcellus Williams. There was ample evidence of both his innocence and jury tampering, and he was still killed. He was an imam and he was a poet, so with rabbinic permission, I would like to read one of his poems. This is At Last Another's Heartbeat by Imam Khalifa Williams. The silhouettes of their bond visible still at the last glow of the sun. They experience each other and the life of the night as it begins to stir. Standing there in silence, holding hands, no rush to go back inside. There is so much beauty and comfort in being in love and just being, amidst sounds of buzzing, chirps, crickets, the pleasant but irregular blowing of the wind, fireflies dancing in step with the light of the moon. How strange it is to become aware of another's heartbeat, but forget one's own. Finally, love.
Are there any other names?
This is not a family member. For my work, I work with survivors of domestic violence. And in the last 2 weeks, we've lost 2 women to intimate partner murders in the state of Minnesota. This makes 41 and 42 this year. Their names are Payao Vang, and Janet Louise Anderson.
We'll rise in body or root on page 294. Yitkada, Yikada, Sheme Rabba, Ve'ama Divrachi Ute, Ve'amlich Malkute, V'chayechon, Uvyomechon, Uchaye Decho Beit Yisrael, Bagala, Ubizman Kari, V'imru, Amen. Yehe Shme Rabba Mevarach, Le'alam Olme Omaya, Yitbarach, V'yishtabach, V'yitpa'ar, V'yitromam, V'yitnaseh. Vit Hadar, Vit Olev, Vit Halal, Shemei Dekucha, Berechu, Ve'ela Minko, Birchata, Veshirata, Tushbechata, Venechemata, Damiram, Be'alma, V'imru, Amen. Yehe Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya, V'chaim Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru, Amen. Oseh Shalom B'mamav, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imru. Amen. I'd like to call up our beloved ushers to help us make some announcements. Here you go. It's just 2 copies of Algates.
I don't know if we've ever had a duet, an announcement duet.
Do you want to? It's
This is quite exciting.
You gotta get it.
You're ready.
Yeah, the Minneapolis Simon and Garfunkel.
All right, we'll go with that. So I'm Fran.
And I'm Bernie.
We're originally New Yorkers, and we're your ushers for tonight.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Go ahead.
Okay. Like when we got married. All right, you do your part. All right. Thank you for being with us tonight. It's such a joy to be together. At the end of the service, please return the prayer books to the usher table. Please separate song sheets from the Siddurim. Mazel tov to
Anybody need a mazel tov?
Yes. Michelle on her 70th birthday and all the other 70s amongst her around now. And thank you to all those who made tonight possible, Rabbi Ariel, Rabbi Joey, Gordon, Eric, the Macomb Million, Julie Jacobs, and Lori Sweet. Thank you to our Shomrim and security for your steady presence. Okay.
Shir Tikva announcements. Find all our Shir Tikva programming updates in our weekly e-news and on our website. And here are some programmatic updates. The High Holy Days are here. Join us for September 28th, Selichot. That's tomorrow. And that was written in here too. Everybody's taking my lines tonight. I don't know what's going on. At 7 p.m. for learning and at 8:30 p.m. for musical Selichot. Hope to see you here and on Zoom. On October 2nd and 3rd for Rosh Hashanah, no tickets needed. Join us for beauty, for reflection, for connection, for song. So ready to be in the new year with you. On October 3rd, Tashlich and Rosh Hashanah potluck following services. Check the e-news and the website for all the details on our High Holy Days and more.
Okay, thank you. Blood drive this Sunday, 9/29. Please sign up or drop by. Thank you to Larry Silber and Julie Jacobs for organizing this important opportunity.
You can see me tonight if you wish to sign up for the drive on Sunday.
Okay. Next week's Shabbat service will be mask required service. If this isn't the best fit for you, please join us on Zoom.
Our adult education programs will be starting over the next few weeks with information in e-news. We are lucky to be joined tonight by leaders of our Musar Va'ads, including our Pride Va'ad for LGBTQ learners who would love to talk with folks after the service. Could our Musar facilitators raise their hands? Now you can. Okay, so Musar is
Which
a...
I studied. Go ahead.
Thank you for letting us know that. Musar is a Jewish spiritual or personal transformation for the sake of creating a better world. You can info about our Va'adot on the adult page of our website. What did I miss?
The rated R page, which we're going to be adding to the thing. Okay. Should I maybe do that?
Yeah, you better change. You better take this to the end.
Okay. A reminder that your community is here to support you, so please reach out to our rabbis, especially after our announcements. If you encounter a life change, so they can activate the Shir Tikva network of support.
Fran and Bernie, will you meet us on the bima to bless the wine and challah? And thank you so much for these announcements. I feel like this is the perfect time to say, please sign up to be an usher. Because you have created so much joy. No, truly. Because I want to say this come join Rabbi Joy on the bima for, what I want to say is this. We need to get to know each other. We now know you a little bit better, and we're so grateful. And this is a wonderful chance to be able to stand at that table, help people come in and feel welcome, and also just get to know each other. So that way, the next week when you see each other and you're not ushing, you can say, hey, we just saw each other last week, and then start talking. So it's a wonderful way to bridge in community. And you know what else is a great way to bridge in community? Eating and drinking. So let us bless our grape juice, found on page 5.
In the spirit of the season, I want to say I drafted the Musar thing that you just read, including all of the typos that stumbled over you. My apologies.
Well, there's a midot that accommodates.
Fran says there's a Musar midot to accommodate my errors. We'll sing together on page 5. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, barei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitanu b'mitzvotav v'ratza banu, v'shapat kodsho be'ahava u'bratzon hinkilanu, zikaron lema'aseh v'reshit. Ki hu yom techila lemikra kodesh, zecher l'tziat mitzrayim. Ki vanu v'charta ve'otanu kidashta im kol ha'amim, v'shabat kodshecha be'ahava u'ratzon hinkaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'te'ahom.
Shalom. Ya la la ya ya la la ya la la ya ya la la ya la la ya la la.
Dom ba yam ba ya 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 yo.
Ya la la.
Yidida.